Hello, MSers, fellow MSers, young MSers, old MSers, everybody that's an MSer out there. Uh, this is my life with MS Monday episode. We do one every week. I didn't do it last week because of the holiday, of course. I ended up taking that one off, enjoying time with the wife. Uh, if you are looking for comic book stuff and unboxings and all that stuff, this video is not for you unless you have MS or are dealing with someone with MS or something like that. I just do this every Monday to get out my multiple sclerosis talk and advocacy type stuff, going over stuff that's been sent to me or that I came across online or whatever or heard about. And this is the way I like to do it. But this is the only show episode during the week that's all MS related. So if you're looking for the comic book stuff, check out all my other videos. But this is multiple sclerosis talk. So may not be your cup of tea, but it's part of my channel. So I like to dedicate at least one day a week to a shitty disease that it's invisible. No one really understands it unless you have it. So it's not a fun adventure, but stuck with it, so I got to go through it. Got a late start today. Coffee's almost gone. I sat there and ran my errands this morning. We went from 90s to hundreds, humid as heck a week ago, week and a half ago, to the last couple days pulling the blankets out, chilly, and I still got a lot of yard work to do, and already the leaves are falling off the trees. It's like we had our month of summer, our 1 week of spring. Now it's fall, and winter's probably right around the corner at the rate that this is going. I feel like we just got rid of winter. Uh, so we go from the summer heat issues to the winter cold issues. It's like why we can't just stay at a happy 70. It's well, I'd love to go live on a tropical island somewhere, but not a big fan of extreme colds and extreme heat. Doesn't like it either. Uh, yeah, I did get the final 3 loads. Well, the final loads, because the last day I did it, I did 3 loads. The truck's still full of one of them with lots of heavy boxes in it. But that will be taking one box a day upstairs or something like that. But I'm just happy to have the storage shed is empty. Storage shed is cleaned out, swept out. Don't have to go back and get any more crap. Everything's here, granted. Two garages are packed full. So my 2.5 car garage is full of totes and boxes that will have to come in the house so we can go through them and get stuff figured out. But now that we're done with the storage shed, we're done with having to pick up stuff and move stuff here from other places or wherever, I can just wake up in the morning and focus on the house and getting through stuff, and I'm in no rush. because I live here now. So whether it takes me 5 days or 5 years, doesn't matter to me. Everything's here on my property. I'm happy to have that done. So now I just got to get these dang people to get in here and do some damn work. The carpenter guy that I caught building a deck, he stopped. What was it, a week ago? I think it was. Went over the stuff that I need done, and he's like, "Well, I'm really busy right now, but in between jobs, he'll stop up here and do a couple things, get them out of the way." He's like, "What do I want done first?" And the first thing is I want the railings on the staircase going upstairs done first. Really, right now, I have to wrap up on my blanket during this episode. But I want two railings put on the stairs going upstairs, and then we need that little like 2, 3 steps built for that little step up that they had. They ripped out the steps and they put a door there when they decided to rent the upstairs out. So now I got to take the door off and then have him build me a little staircase. I'm not gonna go with it. It's only gonna be like 2, 3 steps, so I'll probably just use like a safety handrail for the bathroom. I'll just probably put on the wall there, so I got something to hold on to while I'm going up and down the 2 little steps. It's like it's pathetic having vertigo so bad that I can't. I can walk up steps secure enough that I don't worry about when I'm coming down though, without having ACLs, knees. They're all bone on bone and everything, and they like to buckle and go out from underneath me. It's just even the 2, 3 steps to go down just makes me nervous. With the vertigo, and I'm coming down at about halfway to the step, all of a sudden, visually and mentally, I feel like I'm falling forward. And then if you step on something and it jiggles or moves a little bit, then my knees like to give out and buckle. Then you're just tumbling to the ground. Uh, but yeah, got that done. I was stiff for a couple days after that last three loads, but I just picked the first 2 up and just put them right in the garage. Left the third one in the truck, and we'll work on that one this week. Ah, now I'm starting to yawn. You know what it is once I start doing videos and start talking, I start to get all yawny. I got my MS neurologist appointment coming up in November or October, I mean. The wife is going back to see her family for a few weeks around then. I'll be hanging here alone. Icky, that was a cold one. uh, but yeah, while she's gone, I plan on just. I don't. And I can do it while she's here, but it's easier to do when she's gone. I can just lay out stuff all over the place, go through it, and not have to worry about putting it away at night or getting it out of people's way. So I'll be doing a lot of that while she's gone. Uh, Working on my room upstairs. I got the paint mixed. We took it in this past weekend. Got it mixed up. I'm gonna probably start painting. I'm thinking tomorrow I gotta get laundry done and get a bunch of errands ran. And then Wednesday I want to go up and visit Ma at the home, see how she's doing. I got a container full of cookies I'm gonna bring up to her. Uh, and hang out with her during her exercises and stuff like that. Apparently, she's not wanting to go for rides anymore because I was thinking about taking her to A&W, going getting lunch, and it's the A&W that's up there is also over by the lighthouse park on Lake Winnebago, and I figured we could pick up lunch and go hang out at the park by the lighthouse. But apparently, she doesn't care to go places anymore. She hit that again, whereas I had her away from it. She's happy to go, but now we're back to this with her, which is a bummer. But it is probably better to just hang out with her where she's got her room and stuff, and she could go to that. It's nice enough that you can get outside if you can get out in the sun, but sitting out on the porch and stuff like that, I wouldn't want to do that with it being in the 60s because chance that she gets a cold. Got no meat on her bones, so she's don't want her to have to end up being sick, being laid up with that crap. It's that time of year where everybody's starting to get cold. Ah, dang it. I hate when I start yawning fits when I'm doing videos. Uh, got a comic convention coming up this Saturday that we're going to, and stupidly, I didn't think about getting my knees injected beforehand. I usually get them done the month before because I got to go in like 3 weeks in a row, once a week for injections. Because it's a experimental gel that we've been using. It seems to help less each time you do it. The last time I did it didn't really seem to ease any pain or anything, but for about a month or so, then it started to help a little more. Uh, Getting those done before the fall con, because that way it's easier for me to get through the show because it's a lot of walking. I do take my little seated walker, smaller one. Well, say mid-size because I got a triangular one that's really small. But that one you can't really sit on that tiny little stool with my big ass. But yeah, I'll take the walker up there. The wife can push that around while I get walk around with my cane, and then I can take a break every like aisle. Every time I get down an aisle, stop, sit for a few minutes, and then conquer the next aisle and the next one. There's a couple people I wouldn't mind getting something signed from, but I don't really want to sit in line for long periods, so we'll see what it looks like. Other than that, no other. This was probably the least doctor appointment year I've had in a long time, uh, which is wonderful. We got, and it does. I'm really glad I did because my main doctor, she ended up not even being able to take care of my wife at her last appointment. She had to go to the other doctor because they are just so busy. So as long as my body's holding up, I'm just gonna go with it. Deal with my normal issues and go see the MS neurologist in October and see what he has to say. We'll see what happens. But let's check out some different things. Let's talk about jelly legs. I mean, jelly legs are more summer heat to me, but I do get them no matter what because wintertime with all I need is a tiny little patch of ice and my leg to move about that far. My foot can just slip, and all of a sudden my knees just buckle. It's like consider that as your knee bones that are connected together. It'll buckle, and then if it's big enough of a slip, it'll like shift off the bone and sit off to the side. So you're like, your legs kind of like, oh, this one goes back behind the other one, but you're getting that kind of offset and it locks in there. And I can't do nothing about it other than lay on the ground in extreme pain until someone can come and pull my leg back into this position. Almost like the tendons that are still there, kind of like pull it off to the side, and are no tendons, ACLs, and stuff to leave it, give it support to not do that. But I need doctor won't do surgery. It's I've been living with this shit for 20 some years. Well, since I was 25, right around then. I say somewhere between 25 and 30 is when the idiot kicked my left knee out from the side. And when that happened, my kneecap went up into my groin and the leg did shift off the bone like that. And I'm just laying there in severe pain. And they sat there, and the guy was friends with the bar owner and all that stuff. But he's running around in his military, fake military fatigues that he was wearing. I don't know. It's one of those kids that dresses up like they're going to the Marines, but they never go anywhere into any type of service or anything. They're just idiots running around being cruel to people. But he picked the biggest guy in the bar and decided to kick his knee out. It's easy to do when you come up from behind. Don't warn anybody that you're going to be in a fight. And then somehow him and the bouncer walked me out the back door. I thought they were going to help me get to the car so that we could get to the hospital. I didn't even know he kicked it out at the time because he came up from behind and then kicked outside of it. And yeah, they left me leaning against the big garbage can outside the dumpster. And they left, and my knee buckled and blew out again. And I just went down on the ground. The kneecap was moved again towards the groin. And the leg was shifted off the bone, and the bones were shifted off each other's axis. And yeah, very interesting thing. And I just was focused on getting to the hospital because I was in so much freaking pain. That's all I cared about. And come up here. And got Lemmy Kilmister coming to visit. And what the heck? Yeah, I was focused on getting to the hospital. And when I did get to the hospital, I was there for a couple hours. And I didn't think about calling the cops. I was more worried about my freaking pain that I was in. And then the next morning, I contacted the sheriff's office and told them. And the inspector that went to check on it, he got, of course, all lies told to him. And I don't know why I got on this rant, but yeah, that was a whole situation. Police department screwed me. The sheriff screwed me, and the bar owner screwed me. It's like then I found out this guy has been an ass all his life. My one of my nephews knew who I was talking about once I mentioned it, and yeah, he's basically a troublemaker. Never seen him again though. Sadly, wish I would have. But yeah, knee damage is not fun. But jelly legs, a common symptom in MS, refers to weak or wobbly feeling in one or both legs that can result from nerve damage, fatigue, or inactivity. Uh, they call them jelly legs, yellow legs, noodle legs. People with MS experience a variety of cognitive, mental, and physical symptoms. A common motor physical symptom of MS is leg weakness, often called jelly legs. There are three types of muscle weakness: primary muscle weakness, asthenia, muscle tiredness, and muscle fatigability, which is just feet fatigue. Yeah, that's a cute little purr. A little vibration purr. Yeah. See, primary muscle weakness, also known as true muscle weakness, leaves you unable to make your muscles do what you want. Head in. It's hard with wintertime when it starts to get cold. The past couple days, he's been on me a lot, and he hangs out on my right side, so I can't use my right hand, and I'm right-handed. So I gotta teach myself to be ambidextrous. Been using my left hand a lot more lately to do stuff while he's sitting on my lap. Yeah, muscle weakness leaves you unable to make your muscles do what you want. Now I got the burps. For example, when you try to move after resting, one one person described it makes it feel like they have to fight to get up. People with primary muscle weakness may struggle to begin walking after standing still. They may also have difficulty getting up the first step of a staircase. Yeah, I got all three of those issues. Big time. People with asthenia can typically still use the effective muscle, but movements such as walking or taking stairs requires extra effort. In other words, the affected muscles themselves are not actually weaker, but getting them moving is more difficult. Oh, God. Cleaning those toe beans. Get those toe beans. Uh, muscle fatigability is similar to muscle tiredness, as its name suggests. Muscle fatigability refers to a person's muscles becoming easily fatigued. A person may start activities or movements normally, but their muscles tire very quickly. They may also need more time than usual to recover from the activity or movement. Yeah, I guess I fit all three categories. I'm always the winner of bad things. And I have some members talking about how it feels to have jelly legs. You pretty much know if you're dealing with it. According to the MS Trust, several factors can contribute to muscle weakness in people with MS. Nerve damage, of course, we all got nerve damage. If you got myelin damage, I would consider that nerve damage. Fatigue and inactivity, flare ups, and medication side effects. I'm not on no MS medication at the time currently because my MS neurologist doesn't want me to be, so I can't point towards the medication at least. Damage to the nerves controlling the legs may result in weakness or spasticity, muscle spasms. Damaged nerve cells and nerve fibers are also responsible for many other symptoms of MS, such as optic neuritis. I haven't been these past 2, 3 weeks. My vision, you can see my eyes are all puffy and squinty. They're just very foggy, very not good at all. Having everything's been getting worse for to read and check out and all that. I do have an appointment with my eye doctor. I didn't get in for my yearly appointment at the beginning of the year like I should have, so I held off, and then I started having a bunch of problems. So I called. Of course, they can't get me in until October now. They're busy too. Urinary or bladder problems such as incontinence uh, and bowel problems like constipation, fatigue and inactivity. Fatigue is one of the most common symptoms of MS. Uh, Muscles that aren't used regularly can become weakened or deconditioned, which may cause them to atrophy, shrink. Uh, Flare ups, jelly legs can be a sign of an MS relapse. Uh, Medications, some that are used to treat MS, may cause muscle weakness that affects the legs. Adrobine or Mavenclad is a drug used in the treatment of MS that has a risk of muscle weakness. Okay, I didn't realize that. That's one of the first times I all hearing about that, because that was my last medication was my Mavenclad. It's weird how you only take pills for a couple weeks and a year, and how much they can affect you and do stuff to you. But drugs such as gabapentin, baclofen, which I'm on still, and clonazepam that are used to treat symptoms of muscle spasticity in MS can also cause weakness that may affect the legs. I am trying to wean off my baclofen again because I have more issues with that style spasticity that I used the baclofen for in the summertime, but yet my wintertime spasticity, I don't know. I haven't decided. Every time I go off it, then I start having more problems. But I am down from 5 pills a day to uh, 2 pills, and I was going to go to one for a couple weeks and then to none. But we'll see. By the way, I'm not a doctor. Don't take any of my stuff to heart. Always talk to your medical staff about anything that you're considering doing. Just write stuff down so you remember what to bring up with them, but never trust my stuff. I'm just going over things and giving my opinion. That's all I'm doing. Other causes of jelly legs, you may have another condition like peripheral artery disease, where blocked arteries reduce blood circulation in the legs. Sciatica, which thankfully I have not had another bout with that in about 5 years. I had a few times I could feel it sneaking up on me, and I did what I could to prevent it, and thankfully it didn't get worse and worse. A pinched nerve in the lower back causes shooting pain down the leg, and is often caused by a herniated, slipped disc in the spine or an overgrowth of bone. Peripheral neuropathy. This type of nerve damage can cause leg weakness. Your doctor may want to test you for other health issues to determine the cause of your leg weakness. Uh, Ways you can try to manage it: physical therapy, by improving strength and balance. The only thing that irritates me is when I last went in for it last year and I was doing the physical therapy for the leg issues, they were having me do stuff that I do. I know how to do. They're little parts of my yoga routine and stuff like that. I just wasn't doing it as much because I can't. I got to the point where getting on the ground and doing certain things were way harder. So I kind of backed off certain things and just did the other standing things that I could. And yeah, my neurologist sent me to physical therapy for that, and they were just having me do what I already do, and I was looking forward to getting on machines, exercise bikes, the presses, leg presses, stuff like that. But no, they did that style, so I ended up stopping because $240 for an hour of therapy when I could just spend $10 a month and go to Planet Fitness or something like that. It's like ridiculous. It's costing me at least $40 copay, and then who knows what, depending on my deductible, how far I got that paid. But yeah, not happy about that at all. But there's many other exercises you can do. Just look up certain types of exercise for leg fatigue and stuff like that. Resting, pacing your physical activity, taking breaks. Never want to overdo it. When your body's starting to feel pain, you should stop. You should not take it beyond that, and then you end up injuring yourself, and then you don't work out for a few days to a few weeks because you're in pain, you pulled muscles, stuff like that. Assisted devices, wheelchairs, canes, walkers, all that stuff, and they have the nice rolling walkers now with the seat on them and stuff like that. There's so many different types of things that you can use for assisted devices. Disability tags for your car so you can park closer to where you're going, and that way you're not wasting a lot of your physical effort getting to the place, walking into it. Instead, you're parked right there and you can spend the amount of physical effort that you physically have to just get around the store. Uh, Social networking and stuff like that to find out what other people do and work together. Maybe get a little exercise group together, something going on, talking about things with others, about stuff. Leg weakness is a common MS symptom that many people describe as feeling like their legs are made of jelly or cement, making walking and balance difficult. Uh, Legs like jelly or noodles, or legs that feel heavy like cement. These are some of the ways MS members describe leg weakness, which is a common symptom of multiple sclerosis. It's like I'm really curious how my new neighbor feels about me. He borrowed me his lawnmower, his push mower, because I couldn't get mine working when I first moved in. So I used his one day, and then I took it back to him, and then we just sat there talking. And he was on a rant talking about all kinds of stuff, and I'm like, I got to get back to my walker, otherwise I'm gonna be on the ground because my legs are after doing the lawn mowing and stuff, and I take my breaks. do a couple strips, sit down for a second on the walker, stuff like that. But yeah, I'm like, I gotta get back to thing, and he's like, well, just stand back a little bit in the shade, because I told him the heat is starting to make my legs get wobbly. And he's like, well, we can stand back in the shade. And it's like, no, that's not the point. Once the legs start getting that way, they're just going to get worse and worse until I end up on my butt. So it's like, he kind of, I don't know, might have took it a little, didn't understand is basically as all our MS symptoms, no one understands because it's all invisible disease. So they can't see it physically. So, some people talking about how they feel with it. It's like my legs feel like jelly. Other times they feel like they have weights on them. My legs feel like I'm dragging a block of wood around, and my right leg buckles under me. Anyone ever feel like their legs are jello and cement at the same time? My legs feel like jello, wobbly and unpredictable, making it hard to walk. Another person said, I felt like one leg was shorter than the other and felt unbalanced all the time. Yeah, I was curious at one point if with my losing my meniscus in between my knees and stuff, if one leg was shorter than the other. I had what I called spaghetti legs because my legs felt like they had about as much substance as a cooked noodle. Uh, Leg weakness in MS can have one or more causes: lack of muscle use, fatigue, nerve damage. Uh, it's pretty much all the same as like the jelly legs. Yeah, use mobility aids, placards, rest on bad leg weakness days, talk with others who understand. Yeah, pretty much that's the same as the jelly legs information that they had. Let's see. The MS hug, how long does it last? And other questions answered. The MS hug is a painful symptom of multiple sclerosis. Yes, it's very, very irritating, painful, annoying. I can break it sometimes with little sips of ice cold water. I don't know why, but when it's higher on me, feels like it's more in the lung area. I can do that and it'll relieve it for a second, but then it instantly starts to get up again. Uh, the ambulance one time picked me up and they allowed me to take my bottle of water. It's against their rules, but I'm like, dude, if I don't have this, I have no idea where it's going to take me with pain level wise, because if I can't ease it for a second and let it restart tightening, that tightening grip just gets so bad. I mean, feel like you're having a heart attack, stroking out, dying. It's just not good. Uh, the MS hug is a painful symptom of multiple sclerosis that causes a tight squeezing sensation around the chest or rib cage due to muscle spasms between the ribs. It's like muscle spasms and spasticity and stuff just ruins a big part of my life. But MS hug is a painful symptom of MS that feels like a tight band squeezing the chest or rib cage. Involuntary spasms in the small intercostal muscles between the ribs cause pain that feels like a girdle around the torso. The, the MS hug is one of the many pain symptoms affecting a lot of people with MS. Uh, it's a nerve pain medically known as dysphagia, dysphagia, Dysethia. I can't say it right today. Because chest pressure and pain from an MS hug can arise suddenly, it can be mistaken for other conditions. I never heard this before, such as gallbladder problems. That seems really weird that a chest thing would be because gallbladder's down below. I don't know. I could be wrong. I'm not a doctor. Heart or lung disease or costochondritis, which is inflammation of the cartilage between the ribs. Uh, One MS team member discovered after a year of hospital visits that they had a gallbladder problem. It was the same type of pain, so it was tricky. Okay. Interesting. Never heard that before. Abdominal or chest pain can be a sign of a serious condition. It's important to describe your symptoms to your doctors so they can rule out other medical issues. It's like I stopped going myself because I know the feelings of it so well because it happens so much to me throughout the year. Uh, Thankfully, I haven't had, I think it's been about a week since I had any MS hug issues. But yeah, I have a tendency to get it a lot. And it's like, yeah, you feel like it could be a heart attack or something. So you go in an emergency room, spend, oh, it cost me $90 to walk into an emergency room now. They run me through all the tests and they're like, we have no idea. Your heart's fine, all this stuff. It's like, I'm telling you. I think it's the MS hug. It's like I've yet to have the medical staff agree with the MS hug and give me a shot of steroids or something like that, which I'm not a fan of the steroids because of the damage it can do to your body and all that stuff. But I'm just, they basically check you out, go through all the testing, and then let me go. And it's like, okay, so I got nothing accomplished, no answers, and I'm out $90. Plus, I'll get a bill from my insurance in a month for the rest of it. So I'm like, I can't afford to keep doing it. It's got definitely, I gotta hope like heck it's a hug, and when it's really bad, it's basically me with a blanket over me. I'll tuck my head into the blanket and just sit here. Just my wife knows when that happens, I'm in a lot of pain and I'm riding it out. It only lasts for a short time instead of lasting for a long period. Days can last for a week. And however long, in the time I was in the ICU, I still think that was a hug. And I was in the hospital ICU for 2 weeks and a hospital prior to that for a few days. That was not fun. All right, here's how people have described the MS hug. It feels like a boa constrictor tightening around me. What? Aren't you happy? You want me to put a blanket there for you? So you got a little area to tuck yourself. There you go. You got yourself a little sitting area. He's so fussy. 100% him. Pay attention to me. Quit talking to your screen. Yeah, there you go. All cuddly. You can hear the squirrel yelling at you out there still. He just came in from playing outside. Squirrel just sits on top of the roof squawking away. I got to get those trees trimmed so he quits going on my roof. And just imagine how many of those big green black walnut things are sitting in my eaves troughs. It feels like an elephant on my chest. Tightening pressure in my abdomen that's sometimes so intense it may take my breath away. A horrific squeeze like late labor contractions. Mine are on the mellow side, but very annoying, a person says. Another one says, feels like my bra is on too tight. Then I realize I'm not wearing one. MS is giving you a hug to show who has power over your body. Funny because right now I'm having the beginning of one starting up, I believe, because the side of my rib cage is starting to tighten at the moment. Nice. How long does it last? The length of time people experience an MS hug varies. It can generally last for a few seconds or minutes. However, for some people, the hug can sometimes last for a few hours, days, or longer. 60% higher is okay. Yeah. Members have shared the experience of worrying that symptoms of a hug were actually those of a heart attack. This isn't an unreasonable fear. One study found that people with MS have a 60% higher risk of heart attack. Oh, nice. Oh, you want to cuddle up. Yeah. You're so nice and warm. Uh, let's see. Things that you should seriously seek medical care for right away are chest pain and tightness, pain radiating through the upper body, including the upper back and upper abdomen, shortness of breath, sudden cold sweats, heart skipping beats or fast heart rate, nausea and vomiting, dizziness or feeling lightheaded. Uh, you can develop nausea for different reasons, such as with constipation or bowel problems, dizziness and vertigo, or as a side effect of MS medications. A MS hug across the stomach or torso may cause nausea in some people. I know I've felt it at a couple times when I had the hug. It's not common, but I've had it a couple times. In multiple sclerosis, the body's immune system attacks the central nervous system, which consists of the brain and spinal cord. MS symptoms are caused by damage done to the myelin, a substance that protects our nerves. When myelin is destroyed, it interferes with messages sent from nerves to brain and body, causing a wide range of symptoms. Uh, Pain symptoms are neuropathic, related to nerves, non neuropathic, or both. Nerve damage produces the abnormal sensations and muscle spasms, create pressure, tightness, and aching. Heat, stress, and exertion are common triggers for MS symptoms, including the hug, a flare, worsening symptoms, relapse, returning symptoms, or even wearing tight clothing that could also lead to the MS hug. As with many MS pain symptoms, neurologists recommend resting, cooling down, and reducing stress. Although the hug is not life threatening and generally passes with time, the spasms and banding sensation may be uncomfortable and interfere with your daily life. Well, hell yeah, you can't move, but it gets really bad. You're just trying to suffer out the pain. The hug is different for everyone, so treatment varies. Your neurologist may recommend one medication or a combination to treat the MS hug. Anticonvulsant medications, antidepressant medications, anti-spasticity medications, over-the-counter pain relievers. Botox has been used, medical marijuana, and that they talk about it in here. also, which irritates me because even though they didn't legalize it across the U.S., they mentioned, I think it was 2 years ago, I talked about the sativix. It's well, several studies have shown evidence of cannabinoids potential in treating MS spasticity. Nab Nabiximol, which is sativix, is a cannabis-based mouse spray found to help muscle spasms, and it's approved for use in the United Kingdom. It was supposed to be approved for use in the United States a couple of years ago. Never passed or something. I don't know what's going on with it. I haven't found no updated articles. But it's like, really, people? A little spray that could help us get through some of these freaking pains? No, can't have it. I'd rather watch you suffer. Because that's all about America. America's about getting your head out of your head, living with it, suffering. I don't understand why they wouldn't do something that could help. Uh, when MS hug pain or discomfort becomes unbearable, members report some success with many of the same remedies and complementary and alternative medicine therapies that help with general MS pain. Ice or heat, I'm a proponent. I mention it a lot. I know some may have never heard it. Doing like 10 or 15 minutes with heat and then changing over to ice or cold for 10 or 15 minutes and bounce back and forth. It can confuse your muscles, so they focus more on that than on the pain, and it might help ease the pain. Pressure, apply pressure to the painful areas with the palms of your hand or wrapping the body with an elastic bandage may help relieve tension. Magnesium, acupuncture, meditation and relaxation. Basically, when I have a bad hug kicking in, I know there's not much I can do to it. I will sit there and, like I said, I'll throw the blanket over my head because it just gives the signal to my wife that let him be, let him deal with it. He's having issues right now. And when I'm under that blanket, I do focus on medication and breathing and just try and calm those muscles. Yoga and stretching, keeping a pain diary is always good, and talk to your MS team and see what they're going through, what they try and use, and all that stuff. It's all, you never know. Someone might be able to give you an idea of something that might work, and then always talk with your doctors about what you're going to do so you don't end up doing something that damage you, damages you. I can't speak now. You're leaving me again. And go tick off the squirrel. But yeah, so check out the MS Hug. Uh, let's see, they got some bed exercises to try for spasticity that you can do inside or while you're in bed still. Let's see. One activity while lying on the bed that this person recommends to patients is the hook lying position. This means bending your knees while your spine remains flat on the bed. If you cannot attain this by yourself, having someone else assist you in getting a wedge under your knees may do the trick. From this position, you can take one thigh and push it away from your Opposite thigh, this may require some force depending on the amount of hip adductor spasticity you might have. Once the thigh is splayed outwards, you can allow it to remain there in a sustained stretch. Alternately, you can use a vibrating massager or massage gun along the entire length of the inner thigh. They find it ideal to start just next to the pubic area where the seam of your underwear would be, and to use the vibrator or massage gun along the length of the abductors, with the end point being just inside the knee that is splayed outward. Once this has been performed, the opposite thigh can be pushed outward and either stretched or managed mechanically with the devices suggested above. I really enjoy the yoga leg exercises we do when you're laying on your back and you bend your knees and then you lift one over the other one and stretch it that way and then do it the other way. That's a good strong stretch. You're turning your head to the left while your legs are bending to the right and stuff. Things like that are great stretches that I enjoy doing. Uh, Performing this stretch first thing in the morning can have some real benefits. It stretches the muscles before gravity has had the opportunity to increase the spasticity. It opens up the pelvic floor muscles by stretching the hip abductors. Uh, and what do most people need to do upon waking up? Pee, poop, or both. Even for those who have a neurogenic bladder and use a catheter, this exercise in bed can allow the bladder to move to more fully void, which can prevent retention. And if you experience constipation, performing this stretching before getting out of bed can open up the pelvic floor muscles to assist in evacuating stool with more ease. All right. Another one is the spinal stretch. A spinal stretch is another exercise that they find beneficial to decrease spasticity. For this, you should be lying on your back. You can pull your knees to your chest and then rotate both legs to one side of your body. If that isn't possible, you can bring one knee towards your chest and then pull it across your body to the opposite side. This is to open the spinal nerves that feed the lower extremities. It can be helpful for those who sit for much of the day in order to prevent the nerves from tethering down. Uh, Benefits of these exercises can prevent the force of gravity from making activity more difficult, manage inner thigh abductor spasticity, potentially improve bowel and bladder voiding. So I'm going to start doing those again, I should say, because I used to do them when I did my yoga. So those are forms of movement that I recall from them. But I love the one where you just basically lay on your back with your knees bent up, and then just drop your knees to one side, turn your head to the other side, have your arms straight out, and just one big stretch, and then do it the other way. It felt so good. Plantar fasciitis. I deal with this every now and then, but it's been a while. I'm dealing more with my bone spurs. Now that I have two bone spurs, where I had one for the longest time in the left foot, now I got two. But plantar fasciitis, if you don't know about it, can cause stabbing pains and swelling. This can have an impact on your daily activities. Uh, but they're talking about the best shoes for it. The best walking shoes are a Hoka Bondi 8, uh, HOKABONDI, and then the number 8. Best running shoes, which I ain't doing no running, is the Asics Gel Nimbus 26. Best affordable walking shoes are the Saucony Omni Walker 3. The most comfortable sandal is the Alucal Ohana. The best sandal for all day wear is the Eco Flout 2 band sandal. The best slip on sandal is the OOFOS, OOFOS original, OO original sandal. The best woman's loafer is the Bionic Willa woman's slip-on flat. The best dress shoes for men are the Amberjack, the original. And the most lightweight men's sneaker is the Ortho Feet Edgewater Stretch. I haven't heard of any of those. So I don't know much about those. But yeah, it's if you're dealing with it, anything's worth trying if it may help. But we'll see maybe if I get my catalog done this year, which it's this winter's going to be here any time. But I want to get my MS catalog out with products that I suggest people try and use if they have certain issues. But yeah, just broke an hour. So good show today. Got a full episode in, talked about enough stuff. And yeah, just had off last week because of the holiday. I didn't even think about it. I went to record my life with MS on Tuesday, and I'm like, oh, yesterday was Monday. It was a holiday. So I can't do my MS episode on Tuesday. I can, but I like to keep it for Mondays. Try and not overly interfere with the stuff with the comics and all that. I know I have a few people that are interested in all my videos, but yeah, I like doing this just to keep me up to date on my MS and talk about anything that comes to me because otherwise I just throw it in my files and never read it. At least this way I'm looking at stuff and I can discuss it with you. So leave a comment. I comment back. If there's something you want me to talk about, let me know. I will look it up and we'll talk about it. Yeah, just keep falling under the color of MS. Rate, review, subscribe, tell a friend, give us those likes, and leave those comments. I will respond to them. And other than that, be good to yourself, be good to others, kick the shit out of the monster, and don't let it ruin your day, your week, your year. We're more powerful than it. We just got to find our own little ways to make it through the day the best we can. So, take care, everyone. It's good to be back. Even though I didn't go anywhere, just took last week off. So. Take care. Talk to you again soon. Bye.